Alright guys, so we're back on COD. I do apologize that this, I don't know if COD the gameplay or Forza and stuff is for everyone. This channel I know hasn't had much gaming uploads. It's mainly just been tech info and stuff. There have been some gaming things, but not as much. And I'm not sure if the viewer base that I have right now is too pleased with gaming, or this game. But it's just nice background filler, and I can kind of speak in real time and just play, and it's like not as boring if I just was on desktop or whatever. Um, Topic today is kind of touching on what I made like last night or a few other things I've posted over the last few months. Um, and this is it's hard to make videos on this topic because it's sensitive and it's something where you yourself can start getting carried away. So I have to say first that I'm aware of myself, like I'm self-aware. I'm aware of my own biases, my own biases, um, and I always try and keep it in mind when I try and help people because your biases can often get in the way of helping someone or being helpful to a community or anything. Um, so where do I begin? Well, I guess the easiest way to begin is saying that right now the tech space I feel is in a very weird spot. It's just like I mentioned that other video speaking about the issue with vendors and like the quality control and um, game devs effort, and it's always easy to complain about things, but the truth is, I don't know, I guess like the tech space has evolved into a highly invested field that just it needs to supply a certain level of income um, to individuals who aren't necessarily that interested in tech itself. So what I mean is, a lot of the individuals who own majority shares in companies like Nvidia, AMD, Asus, Intel, like these individuals who own majority shares in these companies do not care about the tech for the most part, and that's just because most big investors, board members, are just wealthy tycoons who have played the market and who believe in the company's future growth. They don't really always care about tech. Most of the time, the people working in the company that care about tech, the ones that actually know about tech and how it works and whatever, those individuals, even in game development, people that fund game development aren't necessarily just they aren't obviously. I mean, you can imagine they're not IT guys. They're not like people that are IT guys or people that are programming, coding, people that are passionate about the field. Most of the time, when you look for funding for any sort of big project, your funding is coming from investors, in backers, people that just want to give you a lump sum to make them, more money. They don't care about the product or whatever, the consumer. They care about consumer, like consumer reach and consumer perception. Like they care about how the company looks in terms of PR, because that affects stocks, obviously, but they don't really care about you and they don't care about the product. So it makes it complicated because the product that you're going to receive is inevitably always going to be somewhat undercut. Like always, you're never these days. The bigger the scene has become in terms of gaming, in terms of esports, in terms of just like how expensive hobbies to make, um, it just means that over the years, the product you will receive is worse and worse and worse because the amount of money placed in by backers and the kinds of individuals who have owned shares in these companies. If a company, okay, when a company starts out, you know, engineers and people that are in the company can actually have good shares in it because by that point they can still afford it, right? If you let's say you were an engineer working for Intel from like the beginning, right? So imagine you had a chance to like invest some money in Intel. You could probably invest some of your salary in Intel. You probably had a good portion of the company. You could have had a good portion of the company. But the moment Intel became multi-billion dollar company, there is absolutely no chance you can afford to own a good amount of shares. Like Elon Musk owns a ton of shares in his own company, Tesla, but like that's because he's Elon Musk, right? He can afford to own a crap ton of shares. I mean, the CEO of Intel can't necessarily own that much shares in Intel because it's just, he might be a wealthy man too, but it's just like, eventually the money's gonna come from somewhere, and that kind of becomes a theme in general because at the end of the day, guys, as much as we all love this stuff, and I'm speaking for optimizers, other enthusiasts, everyone that makes videos on YouTube, everyone good and bad for this community, they all do love tech to some degree, because why would you make videos on it, and why would you do the stuff you do? Like, you had to come from somewhere, right? So I believe everyone does, to some degree, have passion for tech, and they do want to see the space grow. The problem is that that can sometimes become clouded by just weirdness. And first of all, guys, the most important thing that needs to be cut down right now, like shut down completely, is that this narrative about big channels and tech tubers innately being paid off and all this shit, it's nonsense, guys. Come on. Like, you cannot tell me that all these big tech tubers are just being paid off and given favors for these companies, and they just spout bullshit, and they're just trying to scam their customers and like consumer stuff. I don't believe it, guys. I don't believe it. Look, I do think sometimes they have sponsored, obviously they have sponsored spots, guys. They have, they have literal designated sponsored spots that they tell you this is a sponsorship, this is not a review, whatever. OC3D often does that. I love it when he does like overviews and stuff where he says this is not a review, this is just whatever. So sometimes you have just times when a vendor will say, look at our stuff, check it out. You don't have to say it's good or bad. Check it out, show it to the viewers, and that's it. And it's a very objective, very innocent video, because it's like, it is what it is. The object is there. It's not like we're trying to say the object is good or bad or whatever. It's just object. It's just it just is what it is. It just exists, right? It's whatever you want to make of it. And that's cool. That has zero problems. Now, it becomes a problem when some tech tubers begin to skimp out on important, like, testing parameters and procedures. Now, the truth is, guys, that Linus Tech Tips, Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, as much as they do love tech, and as much as I'm sure they put effort into their videos, sometimes there are variables that just do not have time to be explored. Like, things like how Steve messed up with the Gear 2 thing with the i3, man. It's innocent, man. Look, it's not a sin. It's not like something crazy where he did, like, I'm sure, it wasn't something where he was trying to be malicious. It just happened, right? It just happened that the kit of RAM he was using and the i3 was using and blah 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 and the Gear 2 and all that. It just happened. It just happened. It just is what it is. It's just an occurrence, right? It's something that just ends up happening, and you can't do much about it. The video's out in the wild. It's a semi-decent video. Look, it's not a bad video. He did get some stuff wrong. He did make some poor statements. Some stuff was poorly worded. I'm not gonna back off on that. It's true. Him saying stuff about how you can buy a budget D5 now, buy a budget motherboard, like buy a budget D5 motherboard, and then you can get better RAM later. It's like, yes and no. Like, I mean, maybe, but it's not that simple. But it's not like terrible lies. It's just maybe not 100% real, like real useful information. So it's fine. I mean, it happens, right? Again, so. Same thing as with Linus. Like, Linus, Gamers Nexus, everyone, even Jay, dude. Like, I love Jay's videos still. To this day, I still watch Jay. Like, do you think after Jay was, like, exposed for, like, apparently shilling for fucking EVGA and stuff? I know, dude, come on. Like, I'm sure I don't think that happened. I'm sure, like, perhaps what happened was Jay saw prices becoming really good, and he was like, you know what? This seems like a good time to buy. Maybe he received some info that was bad. And it is what it is. It happens. Look, the thing is, it is kind of sad that some people who purchased the 90 Ti EVGA card at a certain date would have lost a lot of money. That does suck, but that happens, guys. And it's nice EVGA decided that if you made a support claim and said, hey, I'm not cool with this wasn't nice of you guys, I want a refund or partial refund, I'm pretty sure they were okay with giving refunds. So, I mean, that's fine. Like, it's all grey areas, but look, guys, it's just a company at the end of the day. They can decide when they want to do price drops, and whether or not they even communicate to Jay. If someone in EVJ told Jay, hey, these prices are what they are, we can't go lower, it's our price, and Jay was like, holy crap, let's inform my viewers because I'm scared NVIDIA might not actually drop a new card soon, Jay might have had a genuine, legitimate reason to give you guys the advice he gave you, and I mean, well, me too. I mean, he might have had a real reason to give us the advice he gave us. And look, you can't look at it like it's malicious. It so happened that maybe the card dropped in price like days later. That could have been an honest coincidence. It could have just been the EVJ higher up said, hey, we need to move stock. This whole thing was cool, good effort by whatever. Jay's video came out of the blue and helped us. Great stuff. Well, we still got to move stock, drop the price again. It just happened, it lined up, it's a coincidence. That honestly was a coincidence. I don't believe Jay is that fucking stupid. Like, come on, guys, when that person made that whole point about how Jay was like apparently, you know, anti-consumer and how he lost his customers. I mean, he lost his viewers, EVJ customers, so much money and all this crap. Look, guys, Jay has a following so big that he now has a certain standard of living. He has a family, and you know, I'm assuming he has a lot of property and stuff, a lot of stuff he needs to maintain. He can't just afford to write off chalk like half his viewership, guys. Come on now. Like, Jay is not that stupid, and I'm sure he realizes like you can't just do that. Like for instance, let's say I was okay. Let's pretend like I had 1 million subs, right? I had 1 million subs, and now something happens where like okay, let's say a new CPU comes out and it's doing horribly, man. The reviews are bad. All these places are saying it's a bad CPU. You know, it's mediocre performance, bad value, blah blah blah, bugs, problems, issues, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, let me check it out. And then this vendor's like, hey, if you check it out, we'll give you a sample, and you know, we might help you in the future, depending on how our relationship develops. You know, wink wink type stuff. And then I go out now and I say, oh, this is the best CPU ever. Guys, my viewer base is gonna realize I'm a clown. They're gonna realize I am a charlatan, and they're gonna stop viewing my videos. And now I've lost my platform, meaning that this company will no longer need me, first of all. And second of all, I have now compromised my livelihood on the basis of one bad take that I decided to go for. And if you guys don't think bad takes can ruin your livelihood, dude, there are many YouTubers who have lost millions of subs and all their livelihood just on, you know, criminal cases, and you know, stuff like grooming, and you know, whether it's real or not, like, you know, but obviously a lot of the time it is, you know, real. But so, you know, whatever, like all these different claims, like Twitter DM leaks, things, people getting exposed, you know, Logan Paul's you know, incident from, you know, 2017, I believe it was. All these different things can get your viewer base gone, and you will lose your livelihood, right? So you don't make stupid mistakes like that. You don't just go out and like there is no amount of favorship and money EVGA could have paid Jay to get him to compromise, to risk his viewership, his whole fan base he has built, his reputation. How could he possibly be so like silly? Like that's impossible. It's preposterous. Same thing with Hub. Like, how could so many people now be convinced that Hub is trying to shill for DDR5 and AMD is paying them off? That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. It's silly. Like, after all these reviews and stuff he's done, you know, all the transparency over the years, you're trying to tell me he's now, like, just gone to the dark side? I don't believe it. Now, Linus Tech Tips, their content is oftentimes sponsored, right? But, big caveat, they don't often try and push product on their viewers. They make very showcasey content. You know, Linus's videos are very showcasey, entertaining. They do have info, but they aren't meant to be like deep technical analyses that you are meant to use to base your purchasing decisions off of. And, you know, all the individuals who are going to try and refute that, oh, dude, they do, though. People do. They do follow Linus' advice, and, you know, he gives bad advice. Listen, fucking half of those fucking guys give bad advice. Like, a lot of the shit that they get caught in, dude, it's crazy. Like, I just can't understand, like, how this community has become so fucking, like, poisoned, man. It's becoming a problem. Like, this is really now becoming a problem. I do not like the way the tech space is developing. Like, it is not good, guys. It is not good. Like, we cannot have, we cannot just have people roaming around just causing all this drama and crap like that, and all this, like, BS with you know, claiming that people are shilling, this guy's shilling, that guy's shilling, and then it's like, oh no, this result's wrong and that result's wrong, and it's like we're causing this whole fiasco. It's like, sometimes it is and it does need to be discussed, but it's not like it's okay to just like call someone out with such crazy claims. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of this is even like, a lot of it is borderline harassment and not harassment, but like defamation. There we go. Like, defamation is occurring a lot, guys, and I'm, you know, like, you gotta be careful, because I don't know how far people like that person can push, because it's like, you've got to, eventually it's like someone's gonna be like, hey, you're compromising my shit, and I've got to take this to court because this is becoming out of hand. So I don't know like where this is going, and no, guys, please do not fall for this shit again. Like the video from yesterday, use your brains. Like you should never have ever use a single tech source as your be-all end-all for advice, and not thought more deeply about what you're about to do. When Jay says buy a card now, take him seriously, and try and understand why he's saying it, like what his angle is, and then look at what your options are, and then consider like, okay, what you would do is you would be like, okay, Jay is saying all this stuff. Well, let's pretend I do buy a card now. Like, what do I get for my money? Like, what can I get? What do I think I'm gonna pay in the future? What potential do I see? Do I think it makes sense? And then you make your own informed choice. Because you know why? It is absolutely ridiculous that so many individuals in this optimizing space are trying to like convince their viewers that they're incapable of thinking for themselves. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, you can't treat your viewers like children. Like, your viewers aren't, like, they're not children. They're adult human beings who have the money to spend on this kind of stuff. So clearly they know, I don't, like, ask anyone that's ever asked me for help. Well, I'm not sure, I don't know how you would do that, but, like, you can comment, like, in this video if you want, like, hey, any of Dane's friends watching that have, asked for help, like, how's his advice, whatever. Anytime I've ever given someone advice, I've never, like, if they've gone against my advice, or if, they have an opposing, like, viewpoint, I don't just shut it down without elaboration and tell them, hey, listen to me, I am the boss. I give them all the info I can to substantiate why I'm saying what I'm saying. And if they say, hey, listen, I respect it, but we don't agree, I don't tell someone like, hey, you're not my friend anymore, or whatever, you can't. If you want to spend your money a certain way, that's your choice. It's your trigger to pull, right? And it's like you should never have been treating tech advice as, gospel. Like, I tweeted about this. I said, would you ever go watch a car review on YouTube and then use that car review video, or like a Top Gear video? Like, would you ever go on Top Gear, see Jeremy Clarkson driving around the AMG 663 and be like, hey, I like this car, blah blah blah, it's a cool car and all this, and then, oh my goodness, Jeremy Clarkson said it's great, fuck, I don't buy it now, dude. What? Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Come on now, dude, no. Like, you did not see some, famous reviewer, someone you like, personality, online personality. You did not see someone review this thing and then go and spend a fucking lump sum of your earnings on this thing, just completely clueless. There is no fucking way. And if you did, okay? If you did, I'm not gonna insult you and say you're stupid or be rude. All I'm gonna say is, please be careful and think for yourself. Like, that person, I'm gonna say their name, fucking Juice. Like, he says, like, oh, look after yourself and stuff. That's some good advice. That's actually good advice. And I think part of that is, like, he's actually he's kind of warning you against himself. Like, he's kind of saying, hey, listen, like, I'm saying shit, but, like, always take care of yourself, because, I might just say some shit one day that might not help you. Like, it's the truth. Like, it's a fucking, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's like a, he's kind of hinting at what his deal is, like, in his advice, and it's his basic advice, his rule number one advice, and that advice itself counters him from, like, I guess you could say, like, it counters him from, what's the word? What would you call it? Like, it prevents him from having to, like, feel responsible, because when he tells you look out for yourself, it's like, I'm saying stuff, but don't take my advice as gospel, because hey, I'm not responsible for you. Which is true, it's completely true. Like, it's up to us to make our own decisions. So you cannot, like, look at Juice and be like, hey, he said this, it's his fault because this went wrong or whatever, or this happened, and now, it's up to you. Like, he says, look after yourself. So it means if whatever happens, it's good advice. It is great advice. It is. Take care of yourself, because you can't trust people. People are inherently always they're trying to get you most of the time. Like, people are always trying to make money or get ahead in some way, and you know, whether it be completely malicious or not, sometimes they just can't help themselves. They end up causing others like some sort of harm, and it just happens, right? Now, the only way to avoid that is, I don't know, just like, it's not even like trusting people that don't make money or blah blah blah. Don't even trust me. Literally, like, I want you guys, if you take one thing from my videos, like all the 50 viewers I have, please, please, please think for yourself. That is my advice to you. That is my golden rule. Don't trust blindly. Trust, trust sparingly. Like, like, what's it called? Like, you wanna give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but you don't want to just assume you're not being fucked over. Like, cause sometimes you probably are. Like, that's the truth. But look, it doesn't happen too often. I don't think that all these tech tubers and all these people are malicious or doing whatever. But dude, it's not even like the first time that people have been like somewhat like telling half truths to make a bit of money, or they have to because of like deals and like their image and stuff. Like, look, dude, in the bodybuilding scene, people fucking sell a bunch of snake oil, dude. Like, in terms of supplements and like dieting plans and training plans and ebooks and shit. Like, dude, it's all just relative. Like, it's not like if you guys trust these people blindly and don't have any like sort of self-awareness, you guys are partially responsible. Like, you're partially responsible. You cannot be trusting people blindly and just like believing every single thing they say, because it's just never gonna work out like that, right? So, I just like, I need you guys to understand that. Like, please, like, we need to get this shit straight, because this is becoming a problem. Like, this is so, guys, this is so hard. What the fuck? Wait, explain. Let me see. Where do I go, dude? I'm so confused. What the fuck? Wait, guys, help me out here. What do I do? But anyway, so like, it's just, this community is, it's in a bad place, man. Like, it sucks, because you know what? Part of it is that DDR5 was complicated, and testing parameters are different now. More considerations, and it just makes things hard, man. It just makes things very hard. So I don't know. Like, it's rough, guys. It's rough. I think the best thing that we can do at the moment as a community is just try and be nicer to people. Try and be nicer to each other, and be more like understanding, and try and like grasp where people are coming from and why they say things they do, and if it really is helpful or not. And at the end of the day, dude, the most important thing, again, like I say, is please, like, you need to just think for yourselves. Like, you can't expect people to like take care of you, right? You can't expect people to tell you exactly what to do, and to never, like, fulfill marketing and stuff like that. And you have to just be aware. Like, this space is for it's not for children, really. Like, if you try and get advice and expect to be babied, like, you're getting in trouble. You are. And a lot of individuals who get you in trouble in this community are the ones pretending to be your friends, and trying to convince you that they're all knowing, and that they have your best interest at heart. And it's just not true. Like, and it's making me sick, right? It makes me sick. Like, the person that, well, it's not just him. The problem is it's more than him. It's like the whole scene that popped up due to, like, was it Warzone, I guess? I mean, I don't know, man. It's some fucking weird trend, but this whole space got created. It's all AIDS because you know what? Like, they get their advice from people that give free advice anyway, and then they go sell that advice. It's what happens. Like they get free info from people that test, industry insiders and stuff, and exoseers and stuff, and then they go use their advice, and they kind of take their info, and then they just go make content, and then just create a community, and then and that's not there are other individuals on Twitter that you can find that are just like that. There are many companies right now. I say company for a reason. You know what I'm talking about. Like, there are companies, big companies, that have been created that cater to pro gamers and enthusiasts and YouTubers and stuff, and they're claiming to be all knowing, and that they have the secret source, and it's like, it's all lies, man. It's all bullshit. Like, you need to become self-aware, guys, and empower yourselves. Please empower yourselves. Like, you need to learn, take care of your own shit. Like, take care of your own shit. Don't, like, you wanna, like, if I ever became big enough, and someone was like, hey, dude, can I pay you, like, 10,000 rand to cheat my computer? No, you can't. Like, what you do is take that 10,000 rand, like, save it, and invest time into this shit, and try and understand what you're trying to do, and how to do it yourself. Because, number one, I'm a human, and I make mistakes, and I can't guarantee a good result. The funny thing is, a lot of these guys selling the service, right? Do you guys realize that overclocking itself, like tuning, it's not always guaranteed, right? Like, sometimes it doesn't pay off, and I'm curious what their policies are. Like, if you try and get a consult from any of these individuals, and they end up getting nothing done for you, like, can you get a refund? Because I'm very, like, are they just like, are they saying like, oh no, we have perfect rates, like you guys have like 100% success rates? Like, all the tuners, anyone watching this video, like, I genuinely, like, I'm not even saying you guys don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm sure you guys know how to overclock and stuff. Wherever you learned that skill, I'm sure you guys know what you're doing to a degree. But do you guys realize that, like, not every single component can be overclocked or tuned or whatever? Like, sometimes a PC is running fine, or sometimes it's just like it's running at its limits. Whatever temperature, whatever. Like, do you guys refund, or like, what do you do? Is it like, oh no, too bad, TOS? Like, really? Because I don't know, like, I feel like that's a bit shitty, isn't it? Like, imagine someone paying you, like, a lot of money and then you end up getting nothing done. Like, that would fucking suck. So it's like, almost like they're trying to sell you a service that doesn't need to exist. For the most part. Like, so if you're selling tech support, right? Like, tech support for enthusiasts, that's one thing, right? But if you're trying to claim that, like, no, this is like purely it's like, okay, tech support is a gray area because sometimes people can't figure out stuff that they're dealing with, and then maybe, like, if you can help them, then I guess technically it's fine, right? It's like fair service. But if you're trying to claim that, like, your service is required, and then you're trying to bash other online sources that, like, say things because you want to try and sell your service, now it's a problem. Like, your service being a thing, it does not necessarily have it's not necessarily like a problematic thing. The problem is when you start trying to claim that you're all-knowing, or that you have the secrets, or that you're like just better, like your service is better. Now you're a detriment. Like, now you're a problem, right? So it's weird, man. It's a weird place we're going with this industry, and I'm not sure why people even care as much anymore. Because to me, it seems like gaming has become, like, less fun and less interesting, and then FPS matters less now. Like, honestly, like, do you guys think that adding, like, 30 FPS to a game is gonna make you play better, or, like, it's gonna be that much more enjoyable? Do you guys honestly want to know? Want to know why I don't charge for my services whenever because I do give them, by the way. Like, why I don't charge, right? Whenever I overclock a friend's system, or even, like, help someone online. Because I've helped random people before that have asked me, and I've just been like, oh, fuck it, I'll help you, whatever. Why I don't charge is because I don't feel like this service is worth anything. Like, I believe you could definitely charge to be in a Discord, or, like, because Bulldoid's a good example. Bulldoid's Discord is a paid to enter. Like, it's not a free Discord. Like, Bulldoid's and not an Apple fan. Like, him and Paul have paid Discords. And you know what? I've got zero problem with him. Why? Because it's like, if you want to be part of a community with other enthusiasts, and you want to help support channels, it is completely fine. If you need to monetize your Discord because you need to have an income and you want to host this community and provide free support, because Bulldoid does give free support. He does give free advice, great advice. He's an awesome source of info. If you pay him for Discord, he will help you every now and again if you need advice, right? If you say something, he'll comment and reply and give his opinions. That's not a problem. The problem becomes when you start selling a service that you try and make people believe they need. And it's especially in the COD scene. Like, the COD scene is a problem. A lot of different, pros and people are, like, paying these optimizers to do this shit. And I mean, like, all of them. There's, like, a lot of different optimizers that do this shit. Guys, it's a fucking cancer. Like, do you realize you're paying thousands of dollars for nothing? It's a stupid service. Like, this is shit you could learn to do in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, man. Like, it's easy. Like, overclocking is easy. Tuning is easy. It's fucking nothing, man. It's simple shit. Really, it's simple shit. Like, anyone who has, a double-digit IQ can do this shit. I promise you. Like, this stuff is not hard. It's tedious for sure, man. It's time-consuming. It does get annoying, frustrating, but it isn't worth thousands of dollars for the service. Like, building the PC, tuning it, whatever. Like, do it yourself. So can I say one problem? It's like, also, people always say, especially like, I believe, what's his name? Science Studio, Greg Salazar. He's always said it, and I agree completely. Buying custom loop PCs second-hand or like pre-built is problematic. They're nice to buy because sometimes, buying a loop is not fun. But if you buy a custom PC, you have to rely on the person who built it for you to fix it for you, or someone else that can work with it, or generally because the guy that builds it knows how he built it, right? When someone else who tries to maintain it for you is going at it, they have no idea, what kind of shit is going on, like what exactly is being used, because you yourself don't know either, because you're a noob, so now you don't know, like, what your loop consists of. So the guy that's helping you fix it is not sure how to maintain it, and you yourself can't maintain it. So now it's a liability. Now you have to trust the same person every time on their clock to help you fix this thing. It makes far more sense to learn how to do it yourself, because it's like with the car, man. Same idea. Do you guys know how bad it is? Well, I'm sure you guys know. Like, when you own a car and you have problems with it and you have no idea how cars work, you can get utterly screwed by mechanics, man. So, and not to say all mechanics are bad, I'm saying, like, if they wanted to and you had no knowledge, you could be strung around and, given services you didn't really require. Like, you could have been given part changes and all these maintenance things that just don't matter that much, and charged for it, and spending, pointless money on this shit, and you'd be none the wiser, right? None the wiser. So, it's the same deal with computers. And I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something one of these days. I've been putting it off because it's a fucking ton of work, and I, to be honest, don't really, I don't really have the time or the desire to do it. Like, I don't necessarily want to do it because I kind of, I had the idea to do it a while ago, and then I was like, nah, it's not my place. I'm not, it's like, if I do it, it's like, I myself don't regard myself as a messiah or a guru or something. I'm not a magical dude. I'm not a fucking wizard, right? I'm not smarter than you guys watching this video, right? So, I don't want to, put myself on a pedestal and like, oh, I'm making the guide, the ultimate guide. But, honestly, yes, I've been considering for months now making a ultimate guide, 6-hour, 8-hour long video of real-time tuning, stress testing, and just like how to do this shit all on your fucking own. Because I want this fucking community to get rid of this cancer, this tumor. This shit is a problem. It needs to go. Like, I really, really, really fucking want that whole optimization space to disappear. Like, I don't think it needs to exist. Like, it just doesn't have to be there. It's like, tech support is fine. That's fair enough. That's okay. Whatever. Like, if you don't want to like do your own tech support, or like if you don't want to automation or like troubleshoot yourself, cool. Have someone help you. That's fine. Like, they're on the phone consulting you, whatever. Cool. Good stuff. But believing that you have to build this computer and then you have to pay someone else money to fucking apparently max it out for you, fucking optimize it, fucking make it run properly, like, that's some horseshit, man. Like, good lord. Like, surely you guys aren't that stupid, man. Come on. Like, fucking shocking, man. It's like, you can tell it makes me mad because look, I respect the grind that some individuals have, and I respected it. I thought it was a cool thing in the beginning. I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool that guys are now selling services, tuning PCs. I think it's pretty cool. I was like, oh, cool. Now they're bringing overclocking to the pros and the content creators. Now they're making it a more like mainstream. They're giving it more of a spotlight, which is kind of cool, right? But then it starts getting taken out of context and completely being used as a vessel to just make money, like just leech money. Honestly, like it's becoming crazy. Like, this is not a scene worth thousands of dollars. It's not. The service is not worth that much, guys. Please, like, you need to understand, it's not worth that much. It's if someone wants more than $50, they're scamming you. Like, the info they have, they acquired for free. And don't you try and tell me that they spent thousands of hours and that's why it's worth. No, dude, no. Like, the time they spent learning, they did for themselves. It was on them, right? It's not a fucking job. It's just not. It's something you do for yourself because the actual endeavor is not that significant. Like, it's not that important. Like, what is important is tech support. And you know what? Tech support is free. Because if you go online on forums, you'll get free tech support. Shocker. Free tech support. Like, if you really need tech support and you don't want to do it yourself, there are tons of guys online willing to spend 5 minutes trying to tell you, like, hey, do this, do that. Okay, that's wrong. That's what's going on. Like, fix that. Right? You don't need to pay someone thousands to fucking, fix your PC. Right? Not even. Worst comes to worst, get an RMA. Free. RMAs are free. RMAs inherently are free. They come with your product. They are a service package. They are DLC. RMAs are DLC. Free DLC. Literally. Like, please. I need this community to understand, like, this shit is not cool. Like, it's a problem. It's a genuine problem. And it's getting out of hand, man. Like, yeah.